Good morning to everyone. Thank you for having me here. Silver Hills is not new to me. I've probably come here to Devagiri several times, and I've always considered Calicut my second home because I love the energy here and the people. So thank you again for having me here. Respected Father Augustine, Father Matthew, the PTA President, Mr. Madhusudanan, I understand Malayalam and I hope someday you will read some poetry out to me that I would like to enjoy. Mr. Binu Matthew, Ms. Sapna who was here as well, and all the other honorable PTA members. Firstly, it's an honor for me to be here because I have traveled the whole world, more than I think 18,000 schools in my many years of working with people. But I think this is the one school that has such a strong PTA. And I think that is such a great honor. Thank you for having me here. Such a strong PTA, not just from the work that you're doing, but for the value that you are adding to community as a PTA. Having said that, I know that today's program, I will have to mix two languages. I understand Malayalam, but I speak Tamil. I'm sure you will understand Tamil, but you will ask me in Malayalam. So I hope that is okay because both are very beautiful languages and I'm sure it will be a common bridge. So I will mix Tamil, English, Malayalam so that today's message is very, very clear. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, yes. So firstly, pre-COVID at least we had little bit of attention. We could focus, pay attention. After COVID, even the adults are hopeless in paying attention. Yes? No? Yes. So let's be practical. If I speak for more than 3 minutes, I will lose all of you. Yes? No? Yes. Because the research, we've been researching. My first research in 1996, I was able to prove that the human mind can concentrate for age plus 3 minutes. Okay, that does not mean my mother who was 80 years could sit for 83 minutes. Okay, till 10 years, it was age plus 3 minutes. After 15 years, it's just 15 minutes maximum. And adults, if you were very, very focused, you could focus for 15 minutes. That was the maximum. Now, our research, especially after 2009, our research says that the most concentrated person, the person who can concentrate the most, concentrates for 3 minutes. Okay? After that, we imagine notifications from the phone. All of you know this. Yes? No? Yes. So this is a universal challenge. So more than parenting, I'm going to work on our own inability to be in the moment, to be able to nurture relationships, all relationships. Are you with me? Yes. Because as human beings, we are relational beings. The quality of our relationships will decide the quality of our life. And because none of us is able to be present with people, the quality of our life is going down. And when Father was speaking, he was talking about stress for students, stress for parents, stress for teachers. It is because we are missing in the process. Can I give you a story? In Coimbatore, I work all across the world. So in Coimbatore, there is a very big industrialist, I don't want to name him. He was celebrating his grandson's first birthday. Budget was 8.5 lakhs. In Tamil Nadu, we usually finish a wedding in 8.5 lakhs. But for the first birthday, the cake came from Delhi. Okay, because there were no cakes in Coimbatore, obviously. So anyway, it was a very big thing. Big superstars, everybody were called. And it was in a very big 5-star hotel. And just before the cake cutting, the mother looked at the father and said, "Where is the child?" Father asked the mother, "Where is the child?" They forgot the child in the whole process. Everything else, including the cake, was ready. So the point I'm trying to make is, we're all running to make our children's future beautiful, but the child is missing in the process. Are you all with me? So, if we are going to meet today, if we are going to have a meaningful session, please let's keep our children as the center of today's discussion. Are you with me? So, I'll go to the most important part of how we learn. Okay? Teachers who have done your B.Ed and teacher training, etc., you would have studied about a scientist by name Ivan Pavlov. Okay? Some of you may have read in psychology. Pavlov is known for behaviorism. He did a lot of animal studies. So he would ring a bell and the dog will salivate. You got 10 marks for that question in your B.Ed exam. Very good. Okay? So after that, all our courses teach us that children learn if you give reinforcement. So if you give star, if you write neat, if you write good, child will study. If you don't give all that, they won't study. This is the logic. Are you all with me? Yes. So now you try to tell us, when I was studying, we were told if you get good marks, you'll get cycle, you'll get watch. They told many lies to us when we were growing up. Okay, for 3 years I studied, no cycle came. Yes? So today you tell your own children, father was talking about chocolates, etc. So today you tell your child, you write this, I'll give you a chocolate. Child says, you keep the chocolate, I'm not writing. Are you all with me? So this is not working. So learning does not happen because of reinforcement. If I give you a gift or a reward, children don't learn. Right? So something else is there. So that's where a lot of my work is on the 5 levels of learning. As children, as adults, if we understand the 5 levels of learning, our relationships also become better. Our learning also becomes better. Would you like to experience it? Okay? Because learning is experience, everything else is information. Information you will get on Google, Chat, GPT, anywhere. But experience, we get only in human interaction. So can everybody sit up straight? Yes. Some of this will be movement related, so please be ready. At the end of the session, everybody will have a 6-pack. Okay, I promise. I'm just teasing you. Okay, ready everybody? So the first level of learning and the most important one, please close your eyes because experience is internal. Okay, so please close your eyes. And as you keep your eyes closed, I want you to focus on just breathing in and breathing out. Don't have to change anything. Just gently breathe in, gently breathe out. Don't change anything. Just breathe in and breathe out. As you do this, please check. Are you feeling hungry? No, or I'm feeling stomach full. Are you feeling thirsty? Or have you had a drink of water? Are you having any pain, tension in the body, little bit of tightness, discomfort? Or are you comfortable? Is your bladder full or empty? Do you need to use the washroom? Are you bladder full, bladder empty? And gently open your eyes. Is each sensation different? Is hunger different from thirst? Yes, no. Breathing in is different, aches and pains are different. So this first level of learning in psychology, in neuroscience, we call it interoception. Interoception means the needs of my body. Am I making sense to you? Right? And this is developed by what is called attuned parenting. Meaning, when the baby cries, those of you who had a little baby recently, you know this crying is for hunger. This one is because my baby is bored. This is because my baby is having some pain. You understand that there is a communication in the crying and you meet the need correctly. Okay? Unfortunately, we realize that after 2009, when the smartphones and the tabs, everything came, all the parenting became distraction. Whatever crying came, a screen was shown to the child, and the child forgot how to meet the need correctly. They meet all their needs with a screen. Suddenly everybody is very silent. Am I making sense to all of you? The current mental health crisis, so much of anxiety, so much of depression, etc., is coming because we have reduced the ability to calm ourselves inside and distract ourselves outside. Everybody is very serious right now. Can I give you a story? A true incident. Again, this is surprisingly from Coimbatore. Lot of stories from Coimbatore today. Anyway, so I was consulting for a school for their curriculum, etc. Incident was very funny when I heard it. Grade 6 standard, one boy. Every day at 11 o'clock, he would go and bite everybody. Teacher saying, huh? Yeah. Kindergarten teachers know, and Brinda ma'am is also somewhere here, I know, that little children, when they want something, they are used to biting. In kindergarten, because they don't have language. But at 6th standard, if he is biting, something is wrong. And every day at 6 o'clock. Okay? So the parent, instead of going to the doctor or a psychologist or anybody, they went to an astrologer. Okay, I have nothing against astrology, but they were looking for a solution which was very divine. So the astrologer also told them, go to this temple, go to this person, go here, go there. 3 months, nothing changed. But how did the boy stop biting? They would take him to the principal's office. And as soon as he went to the principal's office, he will become all right. So then the astrologer told him, she is a very spiritual person. So in the presence of that spiritual person, whatever is attacking your son, it is going down. So the parent was happy with the explanation. But if it was not science, okay? So then finally after 3-4 months, they brought him to me. Said, Aarti ma'am, do something. So the first thing in psychology is, if something is happening at the same time every day, it can only be in the physical body. So the body has a beautiful biological clock. Am I making sense to you? Now, for example, some of you would have had a 10 o'clock tea. You have not had that. Already your body is telling you, you have look at all these people. Okay? All of you will be, father said 9:50, right? So your 9:50 tea you have missed today. Already the body is sending some signal. Where is the chai? Where is, yes? So all of us have a signal. Like for me, at 8 o'clock in the evening, I have to sleep. I sleep very early. Okay? You're saying, what kind of human being? I am a human being. I sleep at 8 o'clock. Okay? From when I was a little child. But I wake up at 3. Okay, so this is my cycle. My body knows this cycle. So everybody has this. So this little child, when we noticed what was happening, till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, he is on the gadget. He sleeps only at 2 in the morning. So he has missed a major cycle. School bus comes at 7 o'clock. So suddenly mother wakes him up at 6:30. Get up, father is brushing his teeth, somebody is packing the bag, somebody is putting on the uniform. He gets into the bus till 11 in the morning. He doesn't know he is in school. He has not eaten properly. So at 11 o'clock, his sugar level drops. He becomes what we call hypoglycemic. He is taken to the principal's office. Principal gives him 2 biscuits. Because you come to my office, I have to give you something. Usually it's a chocolate or biscuit. The moment he eats the biscuit, sugar level normalizes. He stops biting. Interoception, his body knows that he is hungry, so it's biting. It's giving an instinct. What happened? All of you are very serious. Am I making sense to you? There is a wisdom in the body that we are suppressing through the gadget. And the first danger is that they don't have toilet habits. Children even at 3.5, 4 years are using diapers. Am I making sense to you? They don't know how to eat without a screen. Please, we have to stop somewhere. And the only way to develop interoception is to have regular habits, respect the wisdom of the body. Are you with me? Because if I don't know the needs of my body, my learning goes down. If I don't even understand needs, how will I understand a concept? All of you are very serious. Am I making sense to you? Now suddenly very guilty, all of you, I bought my phone only for my son, etc. Please think about it, because there is a science and I'm working very hard to tell parents, Let's not do this to our children. Are we ready for the second level of learning? Yes. Please sit up straight again, close your eyes. Okay? So close your eyes. Second level of learning. As you keep your eyes closed, I want you to pay attention to all that you can hear. You can hear my voice, you can hear the sound of the fan, maybe some other sounds. Pay attention to all that you can hear. Pay attention to what you can smell. Pay attention to what you can taste as you have your mouth closed. What is it you can taste? Pay attention to your skin. What are the sensations that you can feel? And with your eyes closed, what can you see? All of us can see with our eyes closed, so what can you see? And gently open your eyes. Each one is different again. Yes, second level of learning, multisensory learning. Every sense is an input. In psychology, we have 23 senses, including gravitational awareness. You use GPS and get lost, then you don't have directional awareness. It'll say left and you turn right, that becomes a problem. So, sensory awareness is extremely important. Now we keep our children indoors. We don't let them play in the mud. We don't let them climb. Don't let them touch. You'll get infection. You'll get this. You'll get that. In a place like Calicut where there are so many things, you have mountains, you have the sand, the beautiful beach. You have so many rich sensory experiences, but we limit all that because we think they'll get infection. Are you all with me? Second level of learning, we compromise because we are only giving visual input, nothing else. Are you all with me? For the third level of learning, I need you all to stand up. Okay. Now for this activity, you have to find a partner. Okay. Now the only thing is, you'll have to turn and face your partner, but please, there are 2 rules for how you should choose your partner. Okay? Your partner and you should not have grown up in the same place. Like it can be Calicut. Okay? It cannot be the same locality within this same street, same locality, it cannot be. Am I making sense to everybody? Okay, if you have somebody from Bengal, if you have somebody from Tamil Nadu, you have somebody from Karnataka, perfect partner. Okay, so please turn, face your partner. Check if they grew up in the same place, because if you grew up in the same place, already disqualified. Find another partner. Ready, everybody? Everyone has a partner. Anybody without a partner? If you don't have a partner, then I have to play Shadi.com right now. Okay, I'm just kidding. Everybody has a partner? Okay, now, you're going to have a little bit of fun. All of you were the pre-screen generation. So I'm sure all of you had a normal childhood. All of you were playing as children. Yes, teach any 5 games that you used to play as a child. Now you will not lecture, we used to play 7 stones. Not like that. I want you to actually show me how you played those games. You will teach your partner 5 games. Your partner will teach you 5 games. Okay? Start. Okay, children, you can stop playing now. Okay, please sit down. Please sit down. I have only one question. After you played these games, how do you feel? Extremely relaxed, little alert, etc. But more importantly, when we started playing, you were thinking, how will I remember 5 games? Yes, you remembered one game, but once you started playing, you remembered one more, one more, one more, one more. And if I had given you another 10 minutes, you would have found many more games, or you would have created some games now. Right? Technically, there are many parts of the brain used here, but the third level of learning is at the level of the musculoskeletal system. Okay? What we call muscle memory. Now, how many of you can ride a cycle? Yes? If you have not ridden a cycle for 20 years, I give you a cycle, your body will still know how to use the cycle. How many of you can climb a tree? Excellent, good, normal human beings, very good. Now, if I just took you out, of course it's rainy today, so I won't take you to a slippery tree, but if I took you to a tree, you will know how to figure it out, right? This muscle memory is missing for this generation. We are giving them only so much of muscle work. And then we are saying they are not writing. We are spending more and more money on remedial education, whereas what they really need is to use the body, the musculoskeletal system, the large muscle groups of the body to be able to write, to use the small muscle groups. What happened? All of you are very, very quiet. Am I making sense to you? Can I give you an example? If you have a young child, if you have a very young child and you give them a chair, the first thing child will never sit on the chair. Okay? What will they do? First thing, this is what will happen. Yes or no? This is very important for the brain of the child. First thing they will do, Amma. Yes, no. Yes. Why are they doing this? We think, and then we'll say, hey, I spent so much money to buy the chair, keep it properly. Yes. But what is the child doing? The child was seeing the world this way. Now they want to see it from another perspective. I could see my Amma like this. Now I can see my Amma like this. This is the first step to problem solving. Am I making sense to you? I know a lot of you are smiling because you have this experience. And we thought they were wasting the chair. But they were developing a very important skill. Okay? After this, second step will be, this chair will come up. Then they will do. All of us don't like it. Teachers, in the kindergarten especially, they'll be, what are they doing? What is the brain doing? The brain is saying, my teacher is teaching me how to write with a pencil or a pen. I need to develop how to move an object in space. They are learning this is an object and they're moving it to understand how to navigate. If you stop this, pencil box will come out. They will be driving cars with the pencil box. Have you noticed it? Yes? If you stop this, then they will speak. Ma'am, I went here, ma'am. Yes or no? Because to move something in space is what the nervous system needs before it can hold a pencil to write. All of you are very quiet. Am I making sense? Yes. Then what will happen? Next step. King, king. Yes or no? Yes. Why? That's how they learn spelling. I move an object in space and add a sound. That's what writing and spelling are, right? All total silence in the group with deep reflection. That's all I need today. I need for us to reflect on what it is to really be a parent. To understand that the nervous system has a wisdom that we don't have. We think it's okay not to have conversation, don't talk to the child, but find one synthetic app that is teaching ka-cat phonetics. If you speak every day to your child, phonetics will come naturally. Because language came because children needed to speak. Language did not come because they had to write a test. What happened? All of you are very quiet. Am I making sense? When Father Matthew was speaking very beautifully, he said we have the DEAR program and the STAR program. Why did we have to introduce artificial DEAR and artificial STAR? Because you stopped keeping your child on your lap to read. I read a beautiful quote that said, there is no app to replace your lap. Am I making sense to you? When the family stopped reading, whether it's a newspaper, a book, a small article, children stopped reading. Everybody is sitting and watching reels day in, day out. What do you think the child will do? You see the reels, Papa, I'll go and read a book there? No. Are you all with me? I remember this father, once he came and told me, Madam, நிறைய காசு கொடுத்து யோகா கிளாஸ் அனுப்பிச்சிட்டேன் மேடம், 5000 ரூபா யோகா கிளாஸ் போயிருக்கான். காலையில் 5 மணிக்கு எந்திரிச்சு யோகா பண்ணுடா அப்படின்னா யோகா பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறா மேடம். சார் நீங்க 5 மணிக்கு என்ன பண்றீங்க? மேடம் நான் தூங்கிட்டு இருக்கேன் மேடம். நீ தூங்குறன்னா குழந்தையும் தூங்கும்பா. Am I making sense? The rule is model, don't manipulate. If you want a behavior in your child, it must be there in you. You do not have it, child will not have it. Right? One common problem, children use bad language, unacceptable words. Every movie you see, every hero is using bad language. Yes or no? Tamil punch dialogue. குழந்தை கெட்ட வார்த்தை பேசாது, கேட்ட வார்த்தை பேசும். What he has heard, he will speak. Who is using it? Are you all with me? Everybody is very quiet and silent, right? So when a child is playing with something, they are not wasting time. They are developing the muscles required for learning. Can I give you another science that we have, another research that we have been able to prove? When you look at your mobile, when you look at your tab, your maximum screen size is so much. Yes? So this creates what is called ocular lock. Oculo means something to do with your eye muscles. Okay? Eyes have small muscles, if you know, they're called ciliary muscles. They move the eyeballs. When you see a screen, the eyeballs will lock. We call it ocular lock. This is what happens when the deer is being attacked by a lion. When the lion has attacked the deer's eye will fix on the lion. All the other senses will get cut because it has to survive. That is the highest stress response for any living thing. Because of the screen, the auditory sense will get cut. Any child who's watching a mobile, who's watching TV, you call them from anywhere, 10 times, 20 times, no response. And then the child will say, Amma, கூப்பிட்டுட்டு இருந்தீங்களாம்மா? Am I making sense to you? That is not because they didn't hear you. That is because the nervous system has gone into survival. Since 2009, the current 12th standard that passed out of school was the first batch that did not have the mobile. The current 12th is the first batch that had the tab. If you compare the language levels between the two batches, you will see a huge difference. Teachers are nodding, I know. Am I making sense? Because the nervous system has not developed. All of you are very, very quiet. I didn't come to frighten you. I came to wake you up. Because we have to take this seriously. Only 3 levels of learning I have done. Okay? Body awareness, sensory input, and movement. 4th level of learning, even more important, emotional level of learning. Anybody will learn if they feel safe. If they don't feel safe, they will avoid you. Now for me, that torture came from maths. Okay? I had great teachers. Unfortunately, I just did not understand what they were teaching. They were wonderful teachers. But my brain at that point did not understand any maths. Okay? So, maths homework, maths test, maths teacher, I avoided them. If I saw my maths teacher coming there, I would go away some other side. Am I making sense to all of you? Because as human beings, As any organism, if we are afraid of something, we will avoid it. Am I making sense to you? Now, for example, your mother-in-law is coming to town. I didn't say anything else. You were laughing. Am I making sense to you? No matter what you do, you will never be good enough for her. So you will try to also avoid her as much as possible. Yes or no? So any experience that is threatening, is not comfortable, we will avoid. So if the child is avoiding and making excuses, you need to understand that something about that subject is emotionally not okay. And instead of threatening them, so what will happen if they don't bring the book? We threaten even more. If you don't do this, whatever, you're increasing the fear, you're increasing the power they have to avoid it. Are you all with me? Instead, if we break down the task and say, okay, let's do this, let's try it this way, they may approach it with a lot more care. Fifth level of learning is what we call the 3 R's. The reading, writing, arithmetic, remembering, Bloom's taxonomy, all that is the 5th level. All of us are very good at 5th level. Study it like this, test again, write again. But we are not working on the 4 things we have destroyed because the gadgets have taken over our life. Am I making sense to everybody? Yes? I've set the context. I'll go to the second, which is solutions, because I don't want to come and give you a lot of fearful things that you can't do anything about. Now, finally, you will ask me, okay, all that is fine. Now, I've already given my son a phone. What should I do? How do I change that? We'll come to the solutions. But before that, let's develop our focus. Do you want to develop your own focus? Yes? Okay. So, there are only 3 types of focus. We are going to understand the 3 types, and we'll have to work on them every day. Okay? So, can we all stand up again? But don't worry, because I know that sitting down is the worst position for learning. Okay? Ready, everybody? Okay. So now, as you're standing, or if you want to move also, I'm fine. I need you to look around you, and wait, I'll tell you what, then you can do the looking. Okay. As soon as I look around, everybody's looking around. Look around you and find 5 objects that are red. Look around you, find 5 objects that are red. Done? Anybody found more than 5? Yes, some of you found more than 5. Okay, first type of focus, very simple, attention to detail. Okay, so when I tell you in a book, look for the word cat, you look for that detail. This is the first level of focus that all of us need to develop. Since the screens have come, we've lost attention to detail, so we forget more. Like, he told me some name, he told me something, if I'm not able to remember, because we have lost the ability to look for details. Now, when our parents sang beautifully, that song is from 1988. I remembered all the lyrics, okay? But at the same time, if I have to remember any lyrics now, why? Because we've lost the ability to attention to detail. Ready for the second type of focus? For this one, I need you to move a little bit, okay? So what you need to do is to go to any of the corridors where you can see outside, okay? So I need you to move, and when you are there, I need you to find 5 things that are moving. I need you to mentally register 5 things that are moving. Please move, look outside, find 5 things that are moving. Were you able to find 5 things that were moving? No? 2 things that were moving? Yes. Now, of course, if I put you on a street or something, you'll find more things that are moving. But the second type of focus is developing focus by filtering distraction. So what happened? You stopped all the things that were not moving. You filtered all that and you focused on only what is moving, right? We can do it differently. Can you look around you and identify 5 people that you know? Look around you. Look for 5 people that you know very well, or you know. That's also a simple, same thing. Now, since we didn't get movement, the other one. So the moment you looked around, you saw 5, 6 faces. This one I know, this one I don't know, right? That's also paying attention by filtering distraction. Are you all with me? That's the second focus. So on an everyday basis, we can set about 5 to 10 minutes where we are looking for details. What are the details I'm going to look for? Retain those details for a short period of time. And it should not be on a screen. It has to be using the many senses that we have. Second is, how do I filter distraction? What are the ways in which I can filter distraction? It can be even in a book. You can look at a book and pick up only the words that mean a certain thing. It can be as simple as that. Okay. The third, can everybody, if you have a pen and paper, that will be great, but otherwise we'll just do it in the air. Okay. Everybody knows how to draw. Okay. So we're going to do some air drawing. We are going to draw the profile, side view of a dog or a donkey. Okay? You will draw the side view of the dog or a donkey. Anyway, if you had a book, I would have known the dog itself would have looked like a donkey. But I want you to draw the side view, the profile. Let's start. Draw the dog or a donkey. Finished? Some people are still drawing. Now the thing is, what happens, your brain already decides that it has to look like this. It knows the outcome. Are you able to sustain attention till you complete the task? People above 30, we still have this capacity. Little children do not have this capacity. So every time there is a noise, every time there is a distraction, they will look up. So in the classroom, when you are doing something, there is a small chalk piece that falls, whole class stops the task and they're paying attention to that. Am I making sense to you? Because we have not developed this. And that can be developed very beautifully with any game that you play. Whether you're playing snakes and ladders, whether you're playing Ludo, whether you're playing hopscotch, any game that is developed without technology develops the ability to understand initiation to conclusion. What happened? All of you are very, very silent. Now you're wondering, do I have these 3 skills? Okay. If you have lost it because you've been using the reels, then it's a good time to start. Are you all with me? So on that note, I'm going to take a short pause because only information without interaction, I know nothing will be registered. So I'll take about 4 or 5 questions, then we'll go to the second part, which is how do we bring it in our children. Okay, I've done the 5 levels of learning and I've talked about the 3 types of focus. Okay, so very quickly I'll take about 4 or 5 questions, then we'll go to taking it to our children. Okay, any questions from the group? First question only will take time. After the first question, everybody is going to find it very, very easy. So very quickly, you can ask in any language. I'll find somebody to help me with the translation if I'm not able to get it, and we'll answer. Quickly, we'll take 5 questions. Total silence because we didn't give the 10 o'clock tea. Interceptive need. Can be from a teacher, from a parent, it doesn't matter. We'll take 5 questions and then we'll go forward.
Ma'am, I'm teaching in the primary section, and the main problem that we are facing now, the teachers are facing, is children, they don't know how to sit down in a place. And for that, we have to keep on shouting, sit in your place. Even in, I think it's from the KG section to the 2nd or 3rd standard, even the 3rd standard children or the 4th standard children, we are facing the difficulty to sit down in a place, even during the class hours. So how can we overcome that?
So the first thing I would ask you, ma'am, these children who are running around,
yes.
The moment the posture is like this, you know attention is out. The core muscle groups, and all teachers, parents, anybody, if the core is not strong, if the child is not able to sit up straight, you can be 100% sure that they cannot sit down and pay attention. Okay, so there are many things that you can do to develop the core. Of course, you don't have to go to the gym and work out and all those things. For young children, core muscle, you can develop it through many activities. Okay, so the simplest thing that we do, oh, the table has disappeared, no problem. The simplest thing you can do, get children to just, and don't call it kneeling down and all that, it's not a punishment. Okay, you have a table that size, let it be in front of the child, and you get them to do small puzzles, small activities at this level. So what you're doing is you're stabilizing this entire part.
Okay.
The moment you stabilize this part, what happens, and they're also doing an actively, this core stability starts developing your focus. Because the musculoskeletal system, remember the third level of learning, musculoskeletal system, that is weak. Because the children have never done anything, all the time lying down watching a tab, sitting down watching a tab. This slouching is always equivalent to poor attention. So you bring this in, the rest will fall in place. I hope that gives you perspective. And give you more activities as we go along.
Ma'am, I also have one more question, and there may be 38 to 45 students in one class, and one of them may be too hyper in the class. And even if we scold the child, for few seconds he stays calm, but at the next moment he starts irritating and disturbing the class again. We try emotionally, we try to tackle them, but it's not working. So what are we supposed to do?
Simple thing. Shouting never solved any problems in the world. Okay? If that is the case, every marriage should be successful. Sorry, bad joke, but shouting never solves anything. Because I'll tell you, can everybody keep your hand like this? Tamil Nadu appadi vacha quarter, abdila illa. Okay? Okay. I have no such intentions. Okay? Now, this is what I call the handy model of the brain. Okay? This is your spinal cord. This is your spinal cord. This part, and I'd like you to touch it, this part is your brain stem, the largest part of the brain. Okay? This is the part for respiration, digestion, circulation, all these things, and it is developed when the baby is in the mother's womb. Okay? This is a very important part, but this is also the part where fear is registered. That primitive fear, where you see a snake and you get that fear and you hear some loud noise and you have that response is here. Okay? This part, put your finger this way, when you do this part is what we call the limbic system, the emotional system. All your emotions are here. And then you close this is the cortex. This is the thinking part of the brain. Okay, these are subcortical, inside. Now when you shout at a child to correct the child, it goes either here or it goes here. Both places do not have language. Both these parts have no language. Only this has language. Okay? So when I shout at a child in Tamil, child will say, "Ma'am, ennada sonnanga? Sattam potanga." He says she only made noise because they heard only the noise, they didn't hear the words. Language is registered here. Okay? So when a child is running around, there are many neurological reasons for running around, but when I shout, it gives a startle, goes here, and then that's all. After a point, this part realizes it's a safe place, so you run again. On the other hand, when I get the child to say, "Okay, come, let's sit here. Let's sit here," and give a task that is very short. Give a task that is very short. The same, they could be writing, coloring, whatever they're doing. Tell him, "Write these 2 words, I'll come back to you. Write these 2 words, I'll come back to you." Build the attention required instead of controlling the lack of attention. Am I making sense to you, ma'am? There's a question there. Somebody raised your hand there. Yes, ma'am, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
So I'm a parent who likes to think a bit different from what is happening right now, the system that we are following. And so I like to kind of not force my son to doing things, because I kind of realize that the moment I take his power of choice from him, he reacts negatively. That is when he thinks that is his choice, he does a better job. So playing. You mentioned the importance of playing, and I like to play with him, let him play so that he lets out his excessive energy and also he learns how to interact. I think that's the best way possible. But that being said, now he's in fifth grade, and this is a very personal question. Since last week, he's been very tensed, worried about the amount of homework he has to do, about reading. That is, not everyone enjoys reading. I love reading. I'm a writer. I read a lot. My son grew up seeing me read, and yet that is not something he enjoys, and I accepted it because people are different. So he is extremely worried about having to read, having to do so much of homework that his playtime has now reduced to around half an hour a day, which as a parent I think is not sufficient. So how do I overcome that? How do I help him manage his time?
So the point here is, one of the things that is happening here is what is called an executive function. So there are 10 skills, cognitive skills, neurological skills that help you complete a task. Okay, so now I've been given a brief that you have to speak to parents for a certain period of time. I have in my mind certain structure. I already know how much of this will be easy, how much of this will be difficult. I've already planned in my head. All of us develop that around ages 8 to 12. Okay, he's developing it now, and that is completely normal. What overwhelm he is feeling is not because of the reduction of play, but for the fact that his brain is learning a new set of cognitive thinking skills. Okay? Your role as the parent is not to advise, lecture, none of those things, but to question intelligently. Because questioning increases problem solving. Lecture goes to the cortex and it won't get into any action. Right? So you can ask him, which one of this, simple questions, we call it a debrief. Simple question, which one of these tasks is extremely difficult for you? Okay, so let him look at all the tasks, lay them down, pick up the most difficult. Okay, so he keeps that down. What is the easiest? So from difficult to easy, let him arrange. And you can tell him, the difficult ones, I'll sit with you. Okay, the easy ones, you can finish fast, and the faster you finish, the more play you have. So we call that the eat the frog philosophy, where you finish what is difficult first and go towards what is easy. This is one way. Second thing is, the very perception that play is more important and studies is not so important is a very tricky thing, because in life, we'll have to find ways to play. Right now, I make my sessions play-based because it becomes easier. Otherwise, I could have done a PowerPoint presentation. I could have put a slide and gone boring, with neurological research. But I'm making it activity because I know within us, all of us wants to move, all of us wants to learn. So what needs to change is the perception that playtime has reduced. So what you need to do is to also get him a peer group if possible. Because as much as we may love our children, we should not be their playmates. Their playmates must be their own age. So what you may need to let him know is that you finish your work before 7:30, then we'll get two friends, we'll play a little bit. You need to bring the peer group in, because that becomes a great incentive in that age group, because then they also discuss their issues and find solutions together. This is the age where collaborative problem solving is also developed. So if these two come in, usually children settle, but it will take you about 6 months. What happens is we expect that, they settle in faster. Give it about 6 months, it should settle. So I hope I answered your question. You can take one more question. Yes.
Actually, what's happening is myself, my wife, and my kid, three are staying together here. Whenever we are going to any shop, if we go to any shopping mall for purchasing vegetables or some groceries, we take daughter along with us. So whenever we go to the shopping mall, regularly on daily basis, she keep on asking for a new toy. And whenever we purchase that toy, after that, when we go next day, she keeps on asking for new toy without playing that with. She avoids the playing with that old toy. She keeps on playing. She keeps on asking for new toy. and she keeps on asking for new tie, and at that time she will be telling, this will be my last tie, and I will not ask for again another tie. She keeps on doing like that, madam. And another thing, and she is not thinking in a practical way. Whatever she wants to buy anything, and she wants anything in house, she asking, and she wants that thing instantly. And she is not understanding the practical things. She wants that thing at that instant.
How old are you?
I am 31 years old, ma'am.
When did you become practical? No, I'm just curious. Sorry. At 5 years old, nobody is practical.
Okay.
Okay? We have what is called egocentricity. The world begins and ends with me. If I hit somebody, I do not understand they will get hurt. Okay? What you may need to do is, here it's not about practical, not practical. For the little child, something is attractive and she wants it, which is a normal need. Okay? When you go to a shop, you look at a shirt, you like it, but you know as an adult, can I buy it now? Can I not buy it now? But the little child just looks at it and they know that they want it. So she's asking you for it. Your role as the parent is to know how to say no if you can't buy it. The issue is not that the child is not practical. The issue is that we don't know how to say no.
Okay.
Am I making sense to every parent here? Okay, every parent suddenly felt very guilty. Oh yes, I'm blaming the child for my problem. Okay? Importance of saying no. See, the child, we will all have desires. We will all like things. Now, for example, in the morning, father overfed me because I was planning to have only 2 dosas because I love it. And then he said one more and he brought warm sambar as well. And I said, okay, one more. Right? I didn't at that point know how to say no because the desire was higher. Here in this particular case, if you are taking her to the shopping mall or wherever, you need to give her a certain set of small things to do. You can give her a basket, if it's like a self-service kind of thing, you can give her a basket, you can say, find 3 tomatoes, find 2 potatoes. At that level, she will be able to do that. Give her something interesting to do, she won't feel the attraction of something else. She is bored with you. When she's coming with adults to do shopping, she's bored, so she's looking for something interesting. But if you give her something interesting to do, she'll be very excited and you can say, okay, now you go to the billing counter. You pay for this. It's going to be a very big experience for her. Number 1, make it interesting. 2, if you find that in spite of all of that, she's still demanding for something, then you may need to go shopping alone. Let her be at home. Let her know that certain things, because of this equation, I may not be able to take you. Because she needs to know that there is a consequence for action. And we are not doing it saying you are a bad girl, you are this, you are that. You're just saying, no beta, today I will go and I'll buy. You say, no, I'll also come, I want this, I want that. No, you said, today I'm going to get, because she's not playing with the new toy. Okay, she's only acquiring the new toy. And that is where you may need to say the no. But it will take you about 2 months to set, because you've given her everything she wants till now. So to change that, to unlearn that, it will take you 2 months. I hope I've given you the clarity you need.
Ma'am, I have a question. Like, what is the limit of the screen time? Because
0 minutes.
Because this question I am asking, because in this world, in the current situation is like we will not be able to completely avoid the screen. Because let me tell you my example. My child is very clever. So she will...
Every parent believes their child is very clever. Okay?
Because whenever I am in the meeting, she will come in my back and ask and demand for the screen. Because I have to attend the meeting, I have to give it over. And otherwise, she will go to the grandparents and if she is eating the food, they will be giving the phone for them. So I was thinking, what will be a limit where we can set for them so that they don't, they can check for a situation where they can make use of the screen.
There are large industries of people called attention managers. Attention managers have been employed to find out how to keep people distracted. Okay, it's a very big industry. Earlier, the content was only a cartoon film or something. Now it's become reels. Okay, so if you ask me, it's not the amount of screen time that's the problem, but the kind of content that is being consumed that we have to be aware of. Okay? If the child is still watching something from which they are learning and they are implementing or something, I won't have a problem. So they looked at some, science experiment, they looked at a recipe, then they came and used their 5 levels of learning and they cooked something, made something. That content is fine. It has to become action. Am I making sense to everybody? If the content is because I don't want to make friends, I'm not able to make friends, I don't want to take up some responsibility, these kind of things, then zero screen time is what you have to look at. So please see why somebody is going into the screen, okay, and what content they are consuming. Based on that, the limit can be set. Ideally, for a growing child, I would still say 0. If you notice, Australia has banned social media for children. France does not allow children below 6 years to consume a screen, right? So we do know that till 6 years, 0 screen time is definitely necessary, till 6 years of age. If you can make it 8 years, even better, okay? But it may not happen because like you're saying, he's going to the grandparents, etc. My only suggestion to you, look at the kind of content and why your child is looking for the screen. If these needs can be met by playing, etc. Right now, if you notice, all the kids are playing without a screen. Right? It's a great thing. That's why I have not stopped them. They're making a lot of noise, etc. But this is something they need. Okay? They can't be sitting and paying attention to a meeting. So please look at the kind of content they're consuming and what they are learning from it or applying from it. Based on that, you can set maximum 30 minutes as a chunk. Okay? If you're given 30 minutes, the rest of the time should involve movement. If that happens, then there shouldn't be a problem. So I hope I've answered your question. Yes.
My question is, as parents, we would like to have our child to develop many good habits. Reading is one of them. So as parents, should we make it a point that, should we make it, or my child is in LKG now, so should I introduce her to the world of small storybooks now, or should I make it a point that she sees me reading a book, or should we believe in a saying is that many habits are inborn? So which is that correct step at this stage?
A combination of the first two, which is she should be able to see many people in the family reading and reading different things, a newspaper, a poster, name board, reading a book, different types of reading. Some reading is for learning, some reading is for understanding, some reading is just casual. So she has to understand that reading has many functions. Second, the world of stories, the world of poetry, both are important for children, right? Because you have to introduce them to the baseline and poetry also. Because music comes before language. Therefore, poetry comes first, then speech. Okay, that's why if you notice in any beautiful culture, the first few songs that we teach a child are actually meaningless. It'll be about some moon, about the squirrel, about something. Nothing in the child's world, but it has a meter which regulates the brain to be able to speak later, read later. So a combination of this and then the story. And don't do adventure stories first, because they'll get very excited. They'll find all other stories boring. Okay? So there should just be a story about one amma and one child doing something. You can make her own storybooks also. Stories about her. These will be the best ways to start. So I normally teach children to make their own storybooks. So what they did the whole day, from coming from home to school, there'll be some 15 things they've observed. Attention to detail. And then we make a storybook with that. They read that and they know what it means. It becomes a very good way to develop reading. I hope that gives you clarity. Okay? So can we all stand up? We'll do the last bit of activities. In neuroscience, we have 3 imaginary lines in the brain, in the body. 3 imaginary lines. These basically are called midlines. They're called midlines and they help acquire certain skills. If we use the midlines well, learning becomes easier to do. So we'll just play a couple of games together. Okay? Please put your right hand out. Okay? Some people just mirrored me and you've taken your left hand, so please put your right hand out. Okay? Ready? You just have to follow me. 1, 2, 3. Now I did this. You didn't cross the midline and you've still not corrected yourself. Now, when you take your right hand out, you're activating the left hemisphere of the brain, which we call it's a pattern recognizer. The left hemisphere has no other work. It only recognizes a pattern. So for example, if it looks at these words here, it still does not know the word, sound, nothing. It's just looked at the pattern of all of this. Only when you use the left hemisphere, you use the left hemisphere alone, you'll see somebody and say, I've seen this person somewhere, but you don't know who they are. எங்கேயோ பார்த்திருக்கேங்க யாருன்னு தெரியல. Okay, that is the left hemisphere's work. So when it looks at a word, it knows that word, it knows that pattern, but it does not know the sound or the meaning. Okay, when you cross over and touch like this, when you activate the right hemisphere along with it, it adds the sound, it adds the meaning, it adds the context, and you take it from what you can see to what you cannot see. If anybody can see your ears, please get your eyes checked. It's not normal. Okay? Learning is what you can see to what you cannot. Am I making sense to you? Right? Now left hand out. We're going to do the same thing but much faster now. Ready? 1. All super enthu people. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I said same thing. It could mean touch the same ear also, right? Some learning requires both hemispheres. Some learning requires only one hemisphere. Like tables. If you explain tables and give excuses, child will count under the table. Tables you memorize. Poetry you memorize. Am I making sense to you? And you must allow the child's brain to explore. Some of them may even have an entire formula memorized. Okay? You can teach balancing the equation, they won't learn it. Their brain has to learn. Am I making sense to all of you? Ready for the next step? For this one, join your hands this way, okay? And if you're not able to join your hands this way, you'll have problem with, first join, then I'll see. Okay, join your hands like this. If you have a problem with this one, you're the one that goes online. The moment you see sale, you'll buy. That impulsivity. And you are the one that also struggles with another thing, which is you will not be able to do mental math. 3 in the mind, 2 in the finger. Gone. What happened? All of you very quiet. Making sense to you? Okay. Now, once you've joined this, next step, more important. This leg has to be parallel to the ground. Now I can see many dancers also on the campus. Okay, one leg will be easy. Shift. See if both legs are okay. Oh, one leg is very difficult for everybody. Right? So this is, please put your leg down. Your ability to balance, and don't go away, ma'am, I have one more. Yeah? The ability to balance and your concentration are directly linked. So when you have a child and you make them stand like this and the leg is constantly going down, Amma, wait ma, and then they're dancing, then you know that they have a problem with concentration for that subject. So if the child's leg is going down, the right leg is going down, they're going to have difficulty focusing on the maths, the science, the physics, the chemistry, all of that. The left leg is going down during the language period, during the social studies period, the language intense subjects, they're going to have a problem. What happened? Now don't go home today, come here, stand like this. don't do a casual assessment, understand where the child, I'll give you the science behind it. Ready for the next step? Okay, now first of all, let's figure out if our brain is working well. Okay, now, we'll do this at shoulder level, and then one leg up. Now see what happens. Is the leg going down or the hand going down? Now you notice, for some of you the hand is beginning to, please put your leg and hands down. If your hands are going down, when there is a complex task, when there is a difficult task, I'm not able to sustain attention. I get distracted easily. Am I making sense to you? And these are observations that you can make of your children just through a game. Are you all with me? Most important, leg up. Go up like that. Okay? Go up like that. Go up like that. Now see how difficult it is. This is integration of the two hemispheres. Now close your eyes. Balance went away, no? Sit down, please. That is the problem of gadget addiction. When I said don't shout at the child, but work on the solution. You just need to start playing small games, and none of these games are more than 30 seconds. The brain requires 30 seconds for reset. Never more than that. For 1 hour and all, no brain requires work. Okay? So there are very, very simple things. The first rule, whenever you're going to teach anything to do with processing information, new information is coming, I have to add old information to that, then you cross the left and the right. Okay? So move, put your hand this way, as you're doing this, and cross over, close one eye. Cross over, close one eye, cross over, close the other eye. So you can read the word by closing one eye, read the word by closing the other eye, then read with both your eyes. So it's going to two different parts of the brain itself directly. As a teacher, for new words, you're teaching the word mitochondria today. Child has never understood or known this word. Introduce it this way. Of course, you do the same side, there's no use. Goes across. Am I making sense to you? As you're sitting down, cross over. Everybody cross over. Ready? Let's do some clapping. Everybody knows 2 tables? 2 tables? No, that's why I didn't go to 7. Don't worry. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Simple. So you crossed over and processed information. And you brought rhythm. Now the same thing, but we'll add a little bit of variation. You can build these games. This is my 25th year. In the 25 years, we've come up with 3,83,000 activities and no toys. Just the body's wisdom. Okay? I'm just giving you a few. Can we start? So, 1 clap loud, 1 clap soft. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Easy? What you're doing is creating that space for processing. What we're going to do is, when the child is not able to balance, we play a small game. You'll have to hold it this way. Sapna, put your leg on mine. Put your foot on mine. Yeah, keep it on mine. Yeah, on mine. Yeah? Okay, ready? Now, midline clap. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. You also brought concentration. Am I making sense to you? Now we did left and right. The second midline, up and down. So we brought up and down as well. Up and down is for emotional regulation. Your very restless children, the children who have tantrums, the down midline is not okay. So any game that involves these movements, they will work. Okay? So while you're sitting down, if the child crosses the leg, they're already processing information. Am I making sense to you? Right? Now, the other one. Want one more? Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do 1 loud clap and 1 soft clap. Okay? With the leg. I can add any number. Okay. Right. Ready? Okay, you want this leg? I'll cross over. Okay. Ready? Loud. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Now I'll do one clap and two claps, okay? So what you can do here, noun, adjective, question, answer, question, answer. So what happens, the whole body starts paying attention, okay? Third midline for application, okay? So first is processing, second is context, and for regulation, emotional regulation. Third is front and back. Okay, ready everybody? As you're sitting down, okay? Take away the mic. Right? Also, very simple. Very good, you're ready for pre-KG. Okay? Crossover. Ready for first standard. This was the original readiness. Okay? Front, back is for application, problem solving. Am I making sense? And there are many ways to do this. I'll do one which has all three. Okay? Individually, you can move away, ma'am. All three midlines. And? Am I crossing all three? Left and right are crossed? Yes. Up and down are crossed? Yes. Front and back are crossed? Yes. Do the same thing this way. Come forward. Turn that side. Okay, turn that side. Okay, clap and give me that, this side. This is front and down, front and back, left and right. Now we'll do front, back, up, down, left, right. Ready? Down. Thank you. Simple ways to bring in. Only thing you have to decide when I do the question, when I'll do the answer, what I will connect to the clap. How do you say no to the child and reduce gadget addiction? There are simple rules. Firstly, anything that you give as instruction will not reach the child. Because the moment they listen to you, in front of you they'll say yes. Afterwards they'll go back, they'll do their own thing. Okay? So if you really want to change behavior, you need to set what is called a connection ritual. What is a ritual? Something that you do every day. Okay, today after this meeting, you'll all have full josh. Okay, today everybody's mobile will be switched off, everything. And the child also knows, my mother and father went to school, so some new drama will happen. Today everybody like, no beta, we'll sit down, we'll feed and all that. Child also knows, if I let them be like this, I won't get the mobile. So from today, the tantrum will increase. Okay, so please be ready. Before you do any of this drama, first set a connection. Because only when the relationship is valuable can you change behavior. Are you with me? So connection ritual, minimum 21 days. It can go on to 1 month. Set 15 minutes at least. It can be more than that. Where both of you do something you enjoy. So you can cook together, you can go for a walk, you can play badminton. I remember when I was a very young psychologist, like an idiot, I told a parent, do whatever both of you enjoy. And the father came back after 3 months and he came back and said, "Appadiye dhaan ma'am irukku." I said, "What did you both do?" He said, "Naanga rendu per IPL paathom ma'am." Okay, so you can't watch something, you can't do gadget work. It has to be a relational task. Listen to music, sing together. It should be what both of you enjoy. If you have a teenager, when you give this, they will do drama. Like, nothing, I'm very bored, this is boring. They'll test all that. Go through with 21 days. Once they realize it will happen, don't use it for lecture. In Somalia, children have no food. Okay? God is watching you. No, please don't do all that. It has to be a fun time with no judgment. That's when children want to connect to you. Don't become this thing, you know, when we were children, without chappal for 15 kilometers, we did this to our teachers. Don't do all that. They're like, oh God, she started again. So please make it a fun time. They must want to be with you. Okay? After you set the ritual, let them know. Once you're sure, you can connect and you say, tomorrow at so-and-so time, we'll talk about gadgets. You prepare your side, why you want to watch it, what you want to watch. I'll prepare my side. Next day, please keep the appointment. Most important, let them know that their time is valued. If you are speaking to a boy, any age, including 40, 45, 50, any boy, okay, walk and speak. Don't sit and speak. They are spatial processors. They process information when they move. Otherwise, they will drum their hands, stretch their leg, adjust their collar. Everything will happen because movement helps process information for men. Am I making sense to you? Yes. And all the men are very happy. Like finally somebody said it. Yes, that's my research and I will tell you for sure. If you are speaking to a girl, don't do eye contact and speak. Sit beside. They process information when they are beside you, not when they're making eye contact. Let them speak first. Whatever they say, note it down. Most important, if there is anything valid, acknowledge it. When you have to speak, stick to 1 or 2 points only. We will do this actionable. Today, 15 minutes, we'll all switch off our mobiles. Nobody will see it. Tomorrow, it will be slightly more. Work together, review it every week. Because to change an addiction, it takes everybody to work together. Are you with me? On that note, I'll stop. I hope it was useful for everyone. Thank you for the opportunity.